China, a name that evokes ancient dynasties and the Great Wall. But today, it's a land of neon lights and relentless change. Some now ask, has this ancient land become Asia's most sinful country? But what does sin mean here? Is it about losing tradition or simply evolving? From wild parties in Shanghai to shifting attitudes on love and family, China is a nation of contrasts. To understand it, you must see both the grandmothers practicing Tai Chi at dawn and the youth heading to nightclubs at dusk. China's past and future are locked in a dazzling dance, making the question of sinfulness both provocative and revealing. So, let's peel back the layers and see if China is losing its soul, or simply finding a new one. The speed of change in China is truly breathtaking. Bullet trains slice through the countryside at hundreds of kilometers per hour, and cashless payments have become the norm, transforming even the smallest street food stalls into hubs of digital commerce. In just a few short years, daily life has been revolutionized by technology, making convenience and efficiency a part of every interaction. Entire cities seem to rise from fields in a single decade, with skylines evolving almost overnight. What was once farmland is now a maze of glass towers and bustling streets, a testament to the relentless pace of urbanization. Every transaction, every movement, is tracked and recorded, making life not only efficient, but also closely monitored. The digital infrastructure is omnipresent, blending convenience with a sense of constant surveillance. Ambition pulses through the nation, not just in the soaring skyscrapers, but in the fierce determination of young professionals burning the midnight oil, and students filling libraries late into the night, all striving to succeed and support their families. The pursuit of success can sometimes look like materialism, luxury shopping, designer brands, but beneath it lies a deep desire for security, stability, and honoring family traditions that stretch back generations. Social changes are happening at lightning speed. China has become a global hub for cosmetic surgery, with clinics lining the streets of major cities and people eager to reinvent themselves. Trends like the A4 Waist Challenge sweep across social media, reflecting new pressures and ideals of beauty that shape the lives of millions, especially the youth. Yet, personal freedoms are quietly expanding. Street fashion, skateboarding, and creative self-expression are becoming more visible, especially among the younger generation. Stand-up comedy clubs are thriving, offering a space for laughter, satire, and sometimes subtle social commentary, as people find new ways to express themselves. Individuality is emerging in bold colors and unique styles, even as government oversight remains strong and ever-present in daily life. This isn't the uniform China of old, it's a place fizzing with energy, creativity, and self-discovery, where new ideas and identities are constantly being forged. People are carving out their own identities in the shadows of the monolith, finding small freedoms and personal meaning amid the vastness of change. The past lingers in the narrow alleys and ancient traditions, but the future is being written at breakneck speed, with each generation pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Modern China is a nation in flux, full of people redefining who they are, balancing tradition and innovation, and shaping a future that is as unpredictable as it is exciting. To truly grasp the magnitude of China's transformation, one must listen to the voices of its people, each with a unique story to tell. May, a vibrant pink-haired designer in the bustling city of Beijing, has chosen a path less traveled. She rejects the traditional dream of stability, opting instead for a life filled with travel and independence. Her elders may label her choices as sinful, but for May, it's a declaration of her freedom and individuality. Li Wei, a dedicated tech worker in the fast-paced city of Shenzhen, adheres to the grueling 996 schedule, working from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week. He sacrifices personal relationships and leisure time for the dream of owning an apartment, a symbol of success in modern China. For Li Wei, ambition is not a vice, but a means of survival in a competitive world. In the historic city of Shanghai, Mr. and Mrs. Chen reminisce about a time marked by scarcity and collective struggle. They find themselves puzzled by the anxieties and pressures faced by today's youth, who seem to live in a world so different from their own. To them, the differences they observe are not signs of moral decay, but rather a generation gap that reflects changing times. The younger generation is in pursuit of fulfillment and wealth, driven by aspirations that their elders may not fully understand. Meanwhile, the elders hold dear the values of collective good and peace, cherishing the community bonds that have sustained them. These stories reveal not only a chasm between generations, but also a shared resilience and capacity for adaptation. Young people today aren't rejecting tradition out of spite. They are navigating the complexities of new realities, balancing the old with the new. Their choices are not about moral decline, but about finding ways to survive and thrive in a world that is rapidly changing around them. The real story unfolding is not one of sin, but of transformation and evolution. China's youth are not just living in a new era, they are actively writing the new rules for it, shaping the future with their creativity and determination. The generational gap may be wide, but the journey towards understanding and progress is one that is shared by all. When night falls, China's cities transform. Glitzy clubs, world-class DJs, and champagne-fueled parties rival any global hotspot. But beneath the glamour, a creative underground flourishes. Hidden bars live music and spaces for self-expression. Nightlife is a release valve, a place to escape daily pressures and explore new identities. Alcohol and dating apps have reshaped social life, making relationships more fluid and casual. This freedom is exhilarating, but brings new complexities and heartbreaks. The authorities tolerate this hedonism, so long as it stays apolitical. For many, the night is a brief escape before returning to the demands of work and family. China's nightlife reveals a society balancing control with bursts of wild individuality. Pop culture in China acts as a mirror, reflecting the seismic shifts in societal values and the aspirations of its people. It captures the essence of a nation in transition, where tradition meets modernity. In the past, heroes were revolutionaries who shaped the nation's destiny. Today, the spotlight shines on pop stars, live streamers, and video game champions, who captivate the imagination of millions. The phenomenon of little fresh meat, young androgynous male celebrities, challenges traditional ideas of masculinity, sparking heated debates and redefining gender norms in a rapidly evolving society. Live streaming has become a booming industry, with top streamers earning millions. Fans seek connection and entertainment in this digital world, where virtual interactions often feel more real than face-to-face encounters. The phenomenon of celebrity worship feels new and, to some, unsettlingly shallow. Yet, it offers a sense of belonging and identity in a fast-paced world. The government pushes back, promoting positive role models and cracking down on what it deems unhealthy culture. This reflects a desire to maintain control over the cultural narrative. This tug-of-war shapes a pop landscape where fame is fleeting and power unpredictable. The ever-changing nature of celebrity status mirrors the uncertainties of modern life. For many, pop culture is a dream of escape, a fantasy world offering respite from daily struggles. For others, it's a sign of a society searching for deeper meaning and identity. The battle over values plays out online, in music, and on screens across the nation. It's a dynamic conversation that reflects the diverse voices and opinions of a changing society. China's pop culture is a battleground for the soul of a new generation, where the old and new collide, creating a vibrant tapestry of ideas and influences. Despite the rush toward modernity, tradition remains a powerful force in China. Confucian values, family, respect, social harmony, still shape daily life and expectations. Young people face pressure to marry and have children, not just for themselves, but for their families. The concept of face, social reputation, guides interactions and decisions, from business to family. Even in the most modern settings, tradition thrives. Lunar New Year reunites families, and ancient customs persist. A young woman might work in AI by day and consult a fortune teller by night. These aren't contradictions, but threads in the same fabric. The past is not left behind. It walks alongside the future. China's heart is still rooted in family and tradition, even as it races ahead. Is China really Asia's most sinful country? Let's compare. Bangkok's nightlife is legendary, openly catering to tourists seeking pleasure. Seoul's party culture and obsession with looks rival, and sometimes surpass, China's. Japan's adult entertainment industry is vast and mainstream, with customs unthinkable in China. China's sins are different, less about overt vice, more about rapid change and materialism. The government enforces a strict public facade, cracking down on gambling, prostitution, and online content. In reality, China's vices are often hidden, shaped by explosive growth and shifting values. Compared to its neighbors, China's struggles are about identity, not just indulgence. The real story is not about sin, but about transformation and control. In modern China, sin is being redefined. Old vices remain, but new temptations, like social credit and digital surveillance, blur the line between law and morality. Social media fuels constant comparison, envy, and anxiety, creating a quiet, internal struggle. Live streaming e-commerce drives a cycle of consumerism and manufactured desire. Is this the new vice? Endless wanting, buying, and wanting again? The biggest sin may be collective trading certain freedoms for prosperity and stability. For many, this bargain is worth it. For others, it raises questions about individuality and the cost of harmony. China's new vices are less about indulgence, more about societal choices. The consequences will shape generations to come. The definition of sin is evolving with the nation itself. So, is China Asia's most sinful country? The answer is no. What some call sin is really the growing pains of a nation in transformation. China's dramas play out on a grand scale, but its hopes and anxieties are universal. The word sin is a judgment. Understanding requires empathy. China is not a monolith, but 1.4 billion stories, each a mix of tradition, ambition, and contradiction. The most sinful thing may be to judge by our own narrow standards. China is magnificently human, inviting us to watch, listen, and learn. In the end, it's not about sin. It's about the messy, brilliant journey of a nation finding its way.